If you look low maintenance, you get treated like a low maintenance woman. If you look like the maid, you get treated like the maid. If you look like you belong in the house, you get left at the house. Okay? You got to remember this. If you look plain, you're going to get treated plain. There you go. So don't even think about, oh, well, I don't, I only need this and that. No, you need to look like you want to be treated. That's it. Right. High maintenance. That means don't even walk near me, talk to me if you can't afford me. Keep it moving, buddy.
Never be the low maintenance girlfriend. That's not the image that you want him to see, and that's not the image that you want to portray, just so that he could feel like he could give you breadcrumbs and still have you around. You are a lady. You are the prize. You must be treated like a lady. You like flowers, you don't have to ask for it. You like going on dates, you don't have to plan. You like reassurance, you don't have to question. You like nice check-in text messages. You like updates, you don't have to ask for. You like acts of kindness and surprises. Never be the low maintenance girlfriend just to keep him around. Men don't respect that. Be real about who you are. Be real about what you like. That's what men respect, and that's what men appreciate. You are a lady. Demand that you are treated as such. If not, he gotta go. Simple. Be smart, date smart, choose wisely, Nat Nation. And remember, I told you.
Never again will I pretend to be an easygoing, low-maintenance woman just to make someone feel comfortable doing the bare minimum. That is not who I am, and I will not shrink myself to make myself easier to handle. I love thoughtful gestures, flowers I don't have to ask for, dates I don't have to plan, love letters, long texts, sweet check-ins. I love feeling reassured, being prioritized, and being with someone who shows up fully for me. I love feeling adored and not just tolerated, and I'm done pretending I don't.
I can always tell what type of guy a man is by the way his girlfriend act. Yeah. The way the girlfriend act is going to give it away every time. Like, for example, when a woman acts like a baby girl or a princess or just like a baby, specifically around her man, then 9 times out of 10 chances her man treats her right. Her inner child is safe. Her inner child is thriving. She is thriving in her femininity 100%. And the way her man treats her reflects that. Like, her world would be literally unicorns and rainbows because she's being treated like a princess. Literally, like, just laughing all the time, joyful, playful, everything. But when a woman is just more serious and more calm, 9 times out of 10 chances she's just dealing with a more decent man. And when I say decent, I mean like one of those men that just give out the bare minimum and she's just kind of like okay with that. Like, like he's not really giving her the princess treatment, but he's giving her enough to like have her. Hence is why she's not very playful and stuff, because she probably don't find shit funny. Now, when a woman is overly emotional and mean, 9 times out of 10 chances her man ain't shit. And I'm just gonna keep it. She's overly emotional because he's constantly putting her through BS. So every little thing he does triggers her because she's constantly putting up with stuff. I'm telling y'all, I have studied it. I have been in the situations, all 3. And I know for a fact, I'm not lying.
I used to be this type of girlfriend that was like, you can just do your thing. Like, I'll be here when you have free time. And this is never going to get you what you want. If you want flowers, you want dates, you want things planned, don't be the chill girlfriend that's, oh, it's fine. Like, he can just do whatever he wants. He can do whatever. And I'll just be here when he needs me. I feel like a lot of us girls get stuck in this, like, oh, I don't want to bother him. I don't want to text him too much. I don't want to ask for too much. Ask for more. You should be asking for a lot, especially if you're looking for like a life partner. You should be asking for a lot. If you're looking for a serious relationship, you need to think about it in the context of this is the person that's going to get you through the death of your parents, the death of your sibling, maybe even a death of your child. Like, God forbid any of that happens, but if it does, you need a person that's there for you. Have high standards, and if they don't meet them, then move on. Trust me, it is better to be single than to waste your time hanging out with a loser that only makes time for you when it's convenient for them.
Do not fall into the trap of being a low maintenance girlfriend. Because yes, all of those crazy things my exes did, I fully thought were normal. I would tell myself that when my boyfriends ignored me for sports games or had a bunch of close female friends, that shouldn't bother me. I was literally gaslighting myself into being okay with those things because I didn't know the difference between asking for too much versus demanding the bare minimum. And I was so afraid of being told that I'm high maintenance that I never asked for anything, especially because this was also a period in my life where my friendships were really tumultuous. And in my head, because I couldn't rely on them for social stability, I thought that the only constant in my life was my boyfriend at the time, and that it was my job to make sure I didn't rock the boat. And it's only in hindsight that I realize how harmful that was. Because dating someone is not about lowering your own standards in order to keep the peace. It is about showing up every day as yourself with the standards that you have set. And for the person you're with to see all of that, acknowledge it, and love you in your entirety. But oftentimes, men do capitalize on the fact that women don't want to be seen as high maintenance or difficult. How many times have you heard a guy say, I prefer women who don't wear makeup? Who don't need to get dressed up all the time, who aren't afraid to go outside and get their hands dirty, who will eat a burger and drink a beer instead of ordering a salad. A lot of guys say and believe these things. And obviously, as a girl who's just starting to date, you want to emulate the traits that the boys around you are asking for. You are naturally going to want to conform to those ideals. That is literally where the concept of a pick-me girl comes from. But the reason we all go through that is because we haven't grown up enough yet to understand who we are, what we like, and what we require in a relationship. And we haven't yet built our self-confidence up to the point where we don't need that male validation anymore. So now, if a man calls me high maintenance because I want him to spend time with me, to not be close with girls I don't know, and to compliment my makeup instead of telling me I wear too much, that is him telling me that he does not respect me enough to meet my standards. And now I'm also comfortable walking away from anyone who doesn't meet my standards of respect, decency, and communication. So coming back to the original comment, yes, I thought all of those things my exes did were normal at the time. But I don't think that anymore, and neither should you.
I'll never forget, I told a man one day that I wanted to learn how to crochet. Do y'all know that within not even a week, he was at my door with a big tote bag full of sunflowers, because I love sunflowers, in 7 different yarns, 7 different colors of yarn, every size of a crochet needle that you can think of, a beginner book that has so many different patterns and just the basics on how to crochet, and a list that he made of YouTubers that makes tutorials on how to learn how to crochet, and a $100 gift card for Joann's before they went out of business, and told me, this is how you can start learning how to crochet, and the gift card is for anything that I may have missed. Why would I ever lower my standards? I'm gonna give everyone a second to pause this and read that. I am glad somebody brought it up because I've been dying to talk about it. Men will give you what you will put up with. Why would they give you all of this when they can do this and you're perfectly fine with it? And if you're one of those girls who just don't care about flowers or going on dates and whatever, then good for you. But if you aren't one of those girlies, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I take effort to pursue. Yeah, I take effort to keep. And what about it? You don't want to do it? I don't want you here anyways. Perfect. I feel like people strive so hard to be that low maintenance girlfriend. Low maintenance girlfriends get walked all over for the majority. Literally all of this revolves around standards. A guy from my past told me that he thinks I'm a 10 all around, but he would never pursue me because he knows how much effort I would take to pursue. When guys get that low maintenance girl, they're like, oh my God, this is great. I have to do fucking nothing to get her. I have to do nothing to keep her. I have to so if you walk around portraying yourself as a low standard girly, you're going to get a man who is only going to meet those low standards because that is what you portrayed when he was pursuing you. If you maintain your standards at a high level, you are going to get a man who is going to meet those high standards because he knew what it took before he started dating you. Because now you're in the relationship and now you're trying to change everything about it. Now you're trying to change him. You're trying to change what he got used to. You're trying to change the standards that you made in the beginning to now. It's not going to work. But guys are only going to give you what you will put up with. If he's doing the bare minimum and you're accepting it, why would he change? You have to set those standards in the beginning so that you don't run into that problem in the long run when you're trying to fucking change him because you got comfortable. Now you're like, oh, actually, I'm not okay with that. Sucks. That's what you signed up for. That's what he signed up for. You attracted a low standard man. You attracted a man who was ready to pursue a girl with low standards. Are you listening? I don't know why girls are out here always like, oh, I'm low maintenance. No, you're not. You're trying to be, but you're not. So stop acting like it, because in the long run, you're literally only going to fuck yourself over. Everybody has a different definition of high maintenance, but when it comes to the term high maintenance in relationships, it's always a bum-ass male who's too lazy and doesn't want to do anything to keep a girl. I have so much more to say on this topic. I guess that's like the easiest way to sum it up.
I am a professional dating coach, and this is 5 signs that you are a low maintenance person in your relationships. Let's see how many you get out of 5, and you can duet this video or leave your answers in the comments section. Anyway, let's get into it. Number 1, when you have a disagreement with your partner, you would rather discuss it calmly instead of having an argument with them. Number 2, you can spend time alone and do not need your partner to give you attention 24/7. Number 3, you do not constantly pressure your partner to prove their love to you. Number 4, you never expect your partner to put in more effort into the relationship than what you do. And number 5, you have no controlling behaviors towards your partner.
I used to think that it was such a flex that I was so like low maintenance, so like minimalistic in my desires. I thought I was so easygoing and I have such little needs and I'm so independent and so capable that like thank goodness like I wouldn't burden anyone. I wouldn't burden a guy if he wanted to be in a relationship with me because I'm so competent. I could do everything by myself. Like you barely even need me, but just pick me, like be with me. I'm so easy. Be with me, choose me, because that's what my heart desired, to be loved, to be chosen, to be just adored by some good old man out there. And I didn't even realize that that was the exact reason why I wasn't chosen by the type of man that I desired. I wanted a masculine man, and I later learned in my journey, which is exactly why I'm married now and spoiled, but I realized one of the reasons I was not chosen by a masculine man was because I was so low maintenance, minimalistic, didn't have needs, aka suppressed them, numbed them, downplayed them. Man, everything I thought I was doing right was literally like shooting me in my foot. I realized that a true masculine man, the one that we all desire, that's a man who needs to be needed as the masculine. So me being like, I got this, like you don't need to worry, he wouldn't have room in my life. Also, I got this, you don't need to worry, would only attract little boys because I was their mom energetically. When I started to come online, like take up space and energy, which was so freaking scary for my nervous system when I'd used to like playing it small my whole life, hiding and holding back and being like downplaying myself. When I had to take up space, when I had to show up in my boldness, in my energy, express my desires, be who I am in the moment, not overthink, like, whoa. That was so much inner work I had to do to shift that. Not because I was now entitled or, you know, some bossy aggressive. No, just like comfortable in who I am and letting that light ooze out of me. Then I attracted a man, a king, who was like, that's a queen I want to take care of. Well, I just heard her heart's desires. I want to fulfill them. I want to be that man for her. She has a problem. She let me know. I want to come and be that hero. Man, the relationship happened. Sexy. The attraction. Like, and that's another reason why women who know these polarity secrets, not only does their life get better, because now you're tapped into yourself and love life and love yourself, they're the ones that get into phenomenal relationships. Even when they're married, they continue to have that amazing spark, romance, passion. They don't go into this dreaded roommate phase that culture talks about. So listen, if this is like sparking your desire and you know what I'm talking about, you know what you desire, your flex ain't playing it small. Actually, that's your block. You being so small, so scared to be seen. That's why you're not attracting the guy that you want. And if you are ready to do the inner work and shift and like radically become that woman who is the reciprocal of the type of man that she desires, check out my free training, link in bio. It is for women just like you. You're welcome.
Being the chill girlfriend is an empowerment. It's self-abandonment with lipstick on. I admit when I was in this mindset, a part of it was wanting to be like the ultimate cool girl a la Gone Girl. The other part of it was low-key not wanting to have too many expectations because then they couldn't be failed. And then I could stay in this happy little bubble where I pretended that this guy was actually giving me what I wanted for much longer. And as I learned over and over and over again, that is the fast track to shitty treatment. You genuinely want to serve you and like bask in your vibrancy and general glory are not looking for someone who has no needs and only wants to serve someone else. Entitled narcissists are looking for people with no needs who only want to serve them because they believe that that's what they deserve. You want to find a man who thinks about all the things that you deserve. Because let's be real, as women, we are constantly thinking about how to improve the lives of our partners. So why the hell wouldn't we want the same in return? But unfortunately, if you're like I was, where you spent decades cultivating a complete lack of needs, getting back to a point where you can actually show up fully in a relationship takes a lot of deconstructing and decentering. Being male-centered is great for the abusive, entitled losers who want you to be all about them. But for a man who actually wants to love you and wants to serve you and wants to build a life with you, he's looking for someone who has something going for themselves, who has something they can look at and be like, oh yeah, I want in on that. I want to build that more. If you keep auditioning for the role of servant, you will absolutely find someone who's looking for a servant. So at the end of the day, if you want to have a happy life, like regardless of whether there's a man adoring you in it, the first step is untangling patriarchy's bullshit. And that is all I spend my time doing, so if that's what you want to do, welcome.
I heard someone say, just because I don't require much doesn't mean I deserve the bare minimum. Like, let's talk about that. Sometimes we get told, you're so chill. You don't ask for much. And people start thinking that they can do the least for us. But being low maintenance doesn't mean that you should be treated like an afterthought. It doesn't mean that your feelings don't matter. It doesn't mean that you deserve breadcrumbs. It just means that you don't need a circus to feel loved. And that's cool. But you still deserve some effort. You still deserve consistency, and you still deserve somebody who checks on you, who shows up for you, who makes you feel valued. Don't let anybody confuse your simplicity with settling. Don't let them twist your calm spirit into an excuse to give you less. Even if you don't require much, you still deserve the whole meal. Love, respect, and effort. Bare minimum should never be enough for you. You set the standard. And if they can't meet it, they don't deserve access to you.
I have learned a very important lesson from Sierra and Alandria specifically. And that lesson is that there is no reward for pretending to be a low maintenance girlfriend, a reward for being a cool girlfriend. At best, you'll receive a boyfriend who will only tolerate you when you're a watered down version of yourself. As we can see, Nick is an individual who wants to be of service to his partner. And Sierra presented herself as a very like low maintenance, like girlfriend who never really gets mad, who doesn't hold on to things, who doesn't expect a lot of her partner. And I think her and Nick have a good initial connection, but I don't think he can ultimately be fulfilled in their relationship, because he has made it very clear that he's someone who wants to be of service to his partner in the long run. In his intro, like at the beginning of season, he says I want someone to take care of. I want someone who I can worship. And with Alandria, we can see how he likes to hold her hand, help her like walk with the heels. He holds her wine, he clears seats for her, and we never really see any of that like manly or chivalrous nature of his, like when he's in a relationship with Sierra. And all I've taken away from that is like, it's okay to need help. It's okay to want help from your partner, even if you don't necessarily need the help. It's okay to want to like some people want to feel needed. So I feel like that's a very important lesson for women to take away. Don't enter relationships or be in relationships pretending like you're less than you are because you don't want to be bothersome to your partner. And if it does seem bothersome to your partner that you need help with things, or not even need help, like that you want to be taken care of, then maybe that's not the person that you should be with. And I think every woman should write that down and commit it to memory.
I recently learned that I'm actually a high maintenance friend. And I don't mean high maintenance in the way that we have to talk every single day, all day, or anything like that. But I realized I'm a high maintenance friend because I don't like low maintenance friendships. I don't. And this goes for certain levels of friendships, okay? Let's be clear. This is for like the best friend who's like your sister or whatever the case may be. You have those friends who are like your family. Then you have those friends who you're like cool with, close to. You guys can go a couple months, weeks, or whatever, not talk. And then you have like your distance friends where you just kind of talk on social media and you see each other every once in a blue moon. But I'm talking like best friends. No. I need to know that you're alive and well. Even if you're not alive and well, I'll give you 3 days. I give you 3 days before I'm, hello, where are you? Are you good? What's up? All right, just making sure you're alive. Proof of life. That's all I need. Just we need to talk. We need to communicate. There needs to be something. I don't care if it's a real. I don't care if it's just an emoji just to let me know that you're good. I need to hear from you every few days. You can go ghost for like 3 days before I'm looking for you. The idea of normalizing friendships that, again, the level of friendship matters. The idea that you can have a friend who's like your best friend, your sister, and you can be like, I'm gonna just go ghost for months or weeks and not even say anything or not even announce that, hey, I need some space. I don't think that's okay. I don't think that's acceptable. And to think you can just come back and be like, all right, everything's great now. No, things change all the time. People go through things, and I completely understand that. But at the end of the day, there needs to be a level of communication that's there. It's a level of respect. That's okay. We can remove the title. We can go from best friends to good friends. We can go to cool. Don't sit here and call me your bestie and then you're not showing up. That's not okay for me. So something I'm really realizing in my 30s now is like, low maintenance friendships, not for me.